Now it sounds good. But man, let me tell y'all about one of the scariest moments of my life. It was 1987. I was a senior at Hyde Park Career Academy in Chicago, Illinois, on the south side. And it was the month of May. And it was the moment of truth. All the seniors had been called into the auditorium, much like we're sitting in now, to receive their caps and gowns. Now here's the kicker. The way you found out whether or not you were graduating was if they called your name to get a cap and gown. So, in an arena much like this, I sat right back there behind stage, behind the curtains, because I didn't know if I was getting my cap and gown. I had scooted by. I was the king of D's. So all that stuff sounds real good, but before all those master's degrees, it was a whole lot of D's. I sat back there, and to my surprise, I heard my name, because what my goal was if they didn't call my name, some of y'all in here old school, I was going to, just like Snagglepuss, exit stage right. I was out there, and I wasn't coming back. But they called my name, and I was excited for a hot second. Because all of a sudden, what came to mind was the fact that I had never asked that horrible question that we ask young people all the time. And that is, so, little Johnny, what do you want to be when you grow up? I had no clue what I was doing after high school. Nobody had told me about college. Nobody had said anything about the trades. I didn't have a clue. Fast forward 1 year later, it's May, and I'm on the 79th Street, 79th and Ashland bus stop at 3 in the morning. Now, it ain't none of y'all's business while I was out there on 79th and Ashland at 3 in the morning. I promise everything I was doing was legal. So, in Chicago, it's not strange for somebody to be walking up and down the street talking to themselves. And that night, a little short older guy, I was still young, little short older guy was walking up and down the street talking to people. And I asked God, I said, God, please, don't let this man come over here and talk to me. God ignored my prayer. And that man made a beat. It seemed like as soon as I said amen, that man came straight and whoop, like he appeared. Now, I couldn't tell you anything he was saying. But by the time the 79 lakefront bus showed up, whatever he said had me so wrapped up that I let him get on the bus first. I got on the bus behind him, sat in front of him, and turned around and looked at him. This is all I remember him saying. He said, son, do you want to master your life? And I said, sure, because I didn't know what I was going to do in my life anyway. He said, you need three things: a master mind, a master plan, and a master move. He said the master mind thinks, it dreams, it imagines, it envisions a future that you want to live. He said, and then, after it's done that work, it creates a master plan. The master plan is where you determine and decide and figure out what it will take to get you from where you are to where you want to go. And then the master move is the first step you take in relationship to that master plan. Transform my life. I went home and I did exactly what that man said. Now remember, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. Here's what I did know. Growing up in the hood, I knew I wanted to make a difference in the world. That's all I knew. I didn't have any clue how that was going to happen, but my master plan said I got to get out of Chicago in order to do it. I got to go see something else. I got to go be somewhere else. I got to take myself out of the situation I'm in now and go put myself in a new situation to learn new things, to experience new things. And so I decided that my master move would be to join the United States Air Force Reserve. And so I joined the United States Air Force Reserve. Fast forward a little bit, that is the reason I ended up in Abilene, Texas. when you're a reservist, you gotta have a real job. So I got a job at K-TAP Television in Abilene, Texas. I went from being a teleprompter operator to a field videographer. I got so good at my job, they started sending me out on stories without a reporter. And so they send me out on a story to cover a young man who's in a diversion program. If he put in sweat equity hours for Habitat for Humanity, he could avoid going to jail. So that was a big story. I had to go cover it. I pull up to the scene. I look up on the roof. There's a young man that I need to talk to. There's a ladder on the house. I climb that ladder with a 45-pound camera on my shoulder, and I sit down and I talk to this young man. And I interview him. I ask him all the questions that I had. But then after I finished the interview, for the next 30 to 45 minutes, I just sat down and talked to that young man, told him where I came from, and that all I did was make different decisions from all of my friends, and I'm sitting on the roof with a news camera talking to him. I didn't go down the expected path. I climbed back down the ladder, and as soon as my feet hit the ground, I looked back up at that roof, and I said to myself, that's all I want to do with my life. That was it. Having climbed up on that roof in Abilene, Texas, I had discovered my passion, my purpose, and ultimately, through mentorship, I would realize what my potential was. So that fateful day on 79th Street led to me ultimately understanding my passion, my purpose, and then connecting to people who saw something in me that I didn't even see in myself and helped me understand my potential. You may ask, why I tell that story? Well, I tell that story because when I think about all of the wonderful opportunities that I have had to serve young people, it all goes back to this right here, that mastermind, that master plan, and that master move that put me in position to understand my passion, my purpose, and ultimately discover my potential. People come to me all the time and they want to do things, both young and old, and they want to do things in the community, they want to do things in the neighborhood, they want to do things in the city, and they come to me and they say, how do I get started? And if you're young, I tell you the story that I just told. And if you're older, I say you need to remaster your life. You need to go back and tap into your mastermind. You need to rethink, reimagine, and re-envision a desired end for yourself or a desired future for yourself. You're never too old to do it. And then you need to revisit that question. What will it take to get me from where I am to that expected end? And then you just need to relaunch. Begin again. Take that first step. But here's the key. For many of us, people ask me this question all the time. How is it that you have been able to be successful in your pursuits? And I tell them this all the time. I refuse to request or require anybody's permission. I understand my passion, or I say what makes my heart beat. I understand why I'm here on this planet to help young people maximize their life's potential. I see my own potential. Then I just go do what I gotta do to make that happen. When I think of this mastermind, master plan, master move, and mastering your life, I think about The Last Dragon. 1985, Barry Gordy put this movie out, and this movie is about Bruce Leroy. And Bruce Leroy, the whole movie is in pursuit of the glow. Because the glow will give him power. The glow will make him a master. And so he goes through this movie, he's frustrated, he's irritated because he can't find the master. And if he can't find the master, he can't get the glow. there's an ending scene because there's a challenge in the community. And y'all know what the name of that challenge was, right? Shown up. Legend has it he's the baddest mofo low down around the town. Shown up. And Bruce Leroy is the only one uniquely equipped to handle this challenge. And so there's a final showdown. Bruce Leroy versus Shown Up. And guess what Shown Up has? A glow of his own. He grabs Bruce Leroy, he kicks him into a pool of water, and he dunks his head in that water, and then he's dumping Bruce Leroy's head into the water. Bruce Leroy starts to reflect. He starts to remember. He starts to remember that his former master said to him, Bruce Leroy, you've been looking for the glow. You've been looking for the master, and there's one place you failed to look. And then he remembers and reflects on the fact that his love interest, while curling her hair, says, you look like a master to me. And so on that last time when Shown Up puts his head in that water and pulls it up, Shown Up asks him, Bruce Leroy, who's the master? And Bruce Leroy says, I am. And Bruce Leroy starts to glow. And then let's just say he beat the brakes off Shown Up. What's the point? The point is, you already got the glow. You just need to realize it. The glow is already inside of you. There is passion. There is purpose. There's potential already inside of you. And all you have to do is tap into it and not ask anybody for permission to use it. So my challenge to you tonight is to reignite your passion, rediscover your purpose, recognize your own potential, and then go make a difference in the world.